Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word, and it's happy final word. Don't get these too often, do we? Such a convincing 3 points as well down at Cardiff City. Happy days. Chill now. Relax.
Chill.
No pressure. No pressure on us. Well, no pressure. What's the...
For this week or just in general?
No pressure on this week. No pressure any week. No.
Oh, okay.
I think that should be the narrative.
You're convinced now, are you?
Convinced
that we're all right now?
Yeah, I said.
You were worried the other day.
Well, I said we needed to get to that point, and I think I said it in the preview. I think that if we got 11 points ahead of Cardiff, then we'd be fine. So, and we've done it as early as possible, and that's brilliant. Yeah, 17 days off. Didn't necessarily show that in the first maybe half of the game, but I thought certainly second half you could actually see that we'd had a bit of a rest. I thought you could see there was a freshness to the players, and you know, once obviously the game evolved, there was a bit more confidence and a bit more about us.
I thought it did show in the first half, because I thought we were so rusty with in terms of without playing, we were just a little bit sloppy and stuff. I thought we competed well enough, and that was fine, but just some of our passing a little bit in the first half, you could see we were trying to do the right thing, it just wasn't quite working. But as you said, as the game went on, we grew, and the control we had over the game, particularly the second half, was good, because it was very un-Everton like at times to be in control. But you're always nervous that if they got one, obviously it changes the complexion. But no, overall, a good result and a performance that improved as the game went on.
Obviously, the team news itself was interesting to say the least. You know, Phil Jagielka coming in. I wasn't massively surprised once Silver had said that Mina was touch and go, you know, and Jags was fit. I suppose in that instance you've got to go with the player who's fit, and you know, Jags came in and apart from his first touch, which obviously nearly led to Cardiff getting a second minute goal. Luckily enough, Luca Dean was switched on and alive to the situation, which, you know what, a lot of players mightn't have been at that early stage of the game, or might have just been looking the other way, or whatever. So luckily, but I thought, you know, once that had gone, I thought Jags he did okay. No, he wasn't brilliant. He didn't have to be brilliant, but I thought he did okay for a player who hasn't played since first game of the season in the Premier League. I thought he did okay.
Yeah, he's still a very good defender. It's just that obviously he's getting older. I'm 36. It's in a league that is unforgiving, and a league that's filled with quick players. At times you are going to come up short, but as a defender, he's an organiser. We looked much better off set pieces with him in the team in terms of defending him. Whether that's just him knowing where to stand, or whether he's barking or pulling people in, or whether that's just being a case of the manager's done a lot of work over the last couple of weeks and the penny's dropped a little bit more with them. I don't know. But overall, I thought Jags did well. I mean, the first minute he does brilliantly to get there in the first place, and then he's fallen as he knocks the back pass, so he woefully underhits it. But he didn't, you know, being the pro he is, he didn't let it get to him. He come back and he had a good, you know, a decent performance.
You're saying that about the manager organising things, you know, but sometimes you just need that voice reminding everyone, and I did see him at times telling people where they needed to be from corners and more from long throws, and just it's almost that one play at times. You've gone through it all on the training pitch, and then obviously you're in a football situation and suddenly things can go out the way. You just need that one player sometimes, don't you, who's switched on, who remembers all those orders and says, don't forget, you're supposed to be here, I'm here, he's there, because it only takes that one person to be out of position. And then especially when you've got, I've seen this in games recently where other players have tried to cover for other players, and then suddenly you've got not just one player out of position, you've got two players out of position, and it's just a little domino effect. And sometimes you just need someone to switch on to go, no, you're there, I'm here, he's there. If we all stay here, we're doing our jobs. And this is something we spoke about. I'm not saying Jags is the answer, and I'm not saying you can't really say last night, well, it was because of this or because of that. But that's all you need sometimes. You don't see... I mean, listen, Jags has been criticised in the plenty of times for not being vocal enough. But for me, that's something I don't necessarily see. I don't see somebody, any of our centre-backs, just relaying messages. You're there, I'm here. You do that, I do this. Doesn't happen enough. And it was nice to see a little bit, because that can remind other people, that can rub off on people. Keane might start soaking in with Keane going, oh, yeah, I'll start telling people then as well. So I was happy to see that from him.
Well, that's what, I mean, that's a big thing that Van Dijk's brought to Liverpool, which has helped them, and you see other leaders in Premier League teams who are teams at the top. It's something Company's done at Manchester City. Otamendi was a liability for a long time, and some might say still is at times, but he's improved through playing with Company. Yeah. John Stones improved through playing with Vincent Kompany. Now Stones is the one organising. Sometimes you need that bit of experience. Everton have got 3 centre-backs who... I think we all hoped Yerry Mina would be that, but we haven't seen enough of him to know whether he is that or he isn't. Kurt Zouma doesn't seem that. He just seems to get on with his game, which is fine. And Michael Keane doesn't seem that type. He just likes to play with someone who does that, so he likes to just concentrate on his own game. And maybe that's been a problem for Everton this season, that the three of our chosen centre-backs are all prefer to play with someone who's a bit more, lively. But one of them's going to have... If they're going to be our 3, and that's assuming Zouma stays, and obviously the Chelsea transfer ban, if that was to be upheld, might dictate differently. But that's what we need one of them to be. We need one of them to be the way Jagielka was last night, and just telling and talking people through games. We've seen it years ago through Richard Gough, who come in at 38 and just organised us. Dave Watson was still playing when he was 37 and organising people. And Alan Stubbs, David Weir, when we've had good defenders, Yobbo was great, but he was better when he was next to a Stubbs or a Weir, because they would, I'll tell you where you need to be, and that's important. And I think it's something that we haven't necessarily had all season, and it's been an issue at times.
Yeah, I mean, it was sloppy, wasn't it, first half? It was a sloppy performance.
I mean, the changes. Yeah. I got a message at 4 o'clock saying Schneiderlin was playing, and I was like, fair enough. If that's what he's come to the conclusion. Seamus Coleman had a good game last night. Look, back to what we know that he can do, which is push right on. I think Seamus, when he starts going down the line, stopping and turning back, he's almost a waste of a player, because he's not a fantastic defender, but his real threat is his attacking force. And when he's on that side of his game, he's still a really big asset to us, and he proved that last night. And okay, can he do it against Manchester City? I don't know anymore, but you can't. I've seen a few people going, it's only Cardiff, we should beat them, they're awful. Well, there's a lot of teams we should have beat this season. Huddersfield beat Wolves last night. Wolves, were Wolves miles better than Everton? No, they were on the day, but Ardich in general, no, they're not. But we didn't beat them. So you've got to win the games that are in front of you. And Coleman made a big difference last night. He did, because he was back to bombing on, and who knows, that being dropped might have given him a little kick up the arse and make him look at himself, and hopefully.
Where do you think some of those changes have come from? Because Sneijder was in the team, which was strange. There was no Tom Davies, obviously no Gomez. I mean, Tom wasn't even on the bench.
But do we know if he's injured or
not? No, the manager said before the game that he said this is what he said. I'm just going off what he said. He said everything but Mina was
everyone was fit but Mina.
But Mina was a technical decision. I think he said someone else as well, but it wasn't Tom. So he said they were all technical decisions. Okay. So where do you think that comes from? John Joe's on the bench as well, who play. I mean, I'm just taking it from the last few weeks. We've been doing the man of the match, and in the last 3 games, the top 2 I think in every game was John Joe or Tom.
Well, listen, he's the manager, and I believe he said after the game the team was picked on what he's seen over the last 17 days. So if Tom Davies and John Joe Kenny haven't performed in training and Morgan Schneiderlin has, then why not play him? And Seamus Coleman, who knows, like I said before, Seamus might have just got that bit between his teeth again and gone, I have got to fight for my place to get back in that side. We know when Seamus is performing at his level that he's better than John Joe. We know that. Because John Joe's still learning the game. And is he as big a threat as Seamus when attacking wise? Not yet. Seamus had dropped off that side of his game, so therefore he deserves to be left out the side. But he's obviously battled and he's come back into the team last night. And the other thing is, we'd lost the previous 3 games with John Joe and Tom playing, so I'm not saying that they were to blame, but what I'm saying is the manager's probably looked and gone, we've lost 3 games in a week, which is what happened. I can't continue with the same. We need to try something different. And I think what you saw with Schneiderlin in particular was that, okay, him and Garner don't always work together, but it allowed Garner to play higher up the pitch and be a bit more dynamic on the ball. And Schneiderlin went back to what he first did when he came into the Everton side, which was just get it and pass it and keep everything moving and being in there. Don't forget, they're a big side. He was in there for set plays as well. I thought he played well. I thought he acquitted himself really well.
He did okay, yeah.
You know, and you look at him and went, right, okay. And listen, he's a player. He's played for France. He's been an international.
I said it on me player rating. Schneiderlin's the type of player you only notice when he's having a bad game, if that makes sense. Because all he does is just keep things ticking over. But that's at times what you just need from a player. In you know, at times, because I thought the biggest problem first half was how rushed we. Again, this has been a big criticism for weeks and weeks, is how rushed we looked. So everything is just trying getting things as forward as fast as possible, and then you're making mistakes yourself, smashing the ball at each other, you know, to chest height, and you know, incomplete passes in dangerous areas. You know, for me, you've got to just build into a game, haven't you, slowly? And I just thought we give the ball away far too much against a poor side, and we just kept on giving it back to each other. And you expect Everton to just be a little bit better than that, but you know, as you said, then rustiness can play its part.
Well, I mean, you're saying a poor side, but I didn't think they were any worse than a lot of other Premier League teams, to be honest. I think they're a hard working side, so they worked very hard in that first half particularly. They were trying to catch us on the back foot because they've been playing, so they're still, and they wanted to get out there and show after Watford and hammered them on Friday. They wanted to show for the fans, and they were leaving the foot in a couple of nasty tackles early on. Or committed tackles, not nasty tackles, committed tackles that let us know we were in a game. But I think what Everton were trying to do was play at a quicker tempo to cut them open a little bit. And you're right, you know, sometimes they were forcing it too much, but then other times it was one pass away from being a brilliant move. You know, it was the last pass, or it was Richarlison doing something without thinking. You know, there was one in the first half where he's holding the ball on the touchline. There's an easy ball back to Luca Dean, and he dinks it between two. Well, you know, doesn't he whacks it between two, and has got no chance of getting it, and they break, and you're like, when you just pop it off and get it back. Little things like that, but again, that could be rustiness, and he's, you know, he's a young lad as well. We have to remember that, just because we paid a lot of money for him, and he started and he's played for Brazil. He's 21 in his second season in England. He's gonna be a little bit peaky and Toffee, I think, if they're even words, but peaks and troughs for him. But at times I thought we knocked it round well as well. It was just, we get into the final third and it's slow. And I think that, you know, this has been commented on loads of times, is that Everton go through the gears nicely until the final third, then we stop and we turn and we pass it back, and then a team like Cardiff, who are well drilled, just fall into their low block, and then we're not dynamic enough to break that down.
I mean, a big problem with there is not having a centre forward, isn't it? It's not having a centre forward who can move them around enough or get himself into positions that can hurt the opposition enough, and that's a big problem. If you haven't got someone like, you know, someone you can just knock it up to hold it up to, you know, I mean, listen, whether you like him or not, you can't I don't think anyone can argue that like Rondon at Newcastle's form has gone up since he's come back from injury, because for them he's a focal point.
Ball, isn't he?
He's a focal point, just gets him up the pitch, holds on to the ball, and then gives it. And you know that at times is all you need. Look at someone like Troy Deeney. You know, he's the kind of footballer that you look at him and go, no, he's not for me. But at times for Watford, he's such a good player to just get it up to. He's clever. He knows how to use it, and that's the problem. We don't even have one of those kind of players. We've got.
I thought Don done well last night.
I didn't think he did anything till he scored. Personally,
but it's that he did what he normally does, and you praise him a lot for what he normally does. And I didn't think he was any worse last night. I've seen him have really games where he's done nothing, and you've gone, I play well, and I'm like, what's he done though? But last night I thought he occupied that. I think the problem last night was what happened under Romelu Lukaku with Everton a lot. He was isolated, and then Richarlison.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I really like Richarlison, right? But last night I wanted to drag him off after 25 because he runs around. I don't think you can ever say he doesn't put the effort in, because he does, but there's times, like one in the second half, he had the ball on the edge of our box, and he's like, and the lad takes it, and you're like, it's a Premier League game.
And then he's looking at other people saying, why didn't you give me a shout?
And he was like that in the first half, and I've seen a comment off Shuey on Twitter just before, and I thought, it's right, it's absolutely right. I don't know whether he has the finesse to be a wide player. And we seen, it was like chalk and cheese when Bernard come on. For that area, someone who's clever on the ball. And I think Richarlison is, and people won't like it, you mightn't like it, but he's better through the middle.
But he's not a centre forward. But that's what I'm saying, he's not a centre forward.
Is Dom a centre forward?
Dom's a centre forward, because you can see it, but he's a centre forward because because of the way he holds himself. I'm not saying he's a brilliant centre forward, but I can see he's a centre forward.
Well, maybe Richarlison is a player who plays with a centre forward.
And I can't argue with that. But he ain't a centre forward, because when he's got no business with his back to his goal. The goal.
But he likes to run. Yeah.
No, I understand that.
There's a lot of players like that.
I know the game, and that's where the game.
If you look at, and this is probably harking back probably too long ago, but if you look at the likes of Michael Owen wasn't great with his back.
But
he wanted to be on the shoulder.
He was on the shoulder, and I don't think Richarlison's that kind of centre forward either. I think he's the kind of centre forward that wants to run from deep, or a number 10 position. So he's still. I'm not having a go at him, but I just don't like this. I don't like his demeanour. I didn't like the way he walked off the pitch last night. It was just.
Yeah, but that can be two things, can't it? That can be either he's pissed off or he's frustrated with his own performance because he hasn't done what he should. No, he should have. When we played them at home, he was a threat, right? But he was playing through the middle. Last night he wasn't really a threat. He didn't really do anything, did he? Last night he got in the first half. He got in a couple of times on the right hand side, and he made the wrong decision. I think what we've done to him is, I think he knew his position on the left early in the season, and he was effective. We were all going, it's great. And then we put him up through the middle because we didn't really have anyone, and he done okay through the middle, scored goals. And then that dried up, and then we went to put him back to the left. And I think now he's in a little bit of he's between the two.
He is like so many players in our team. He doesn't have a default setting, as I always say. He doesn't have. There's loads of players in our team who don't have default. There's just like no in between.
You mean like he's not a 7 out of 10 every?
Yeah, there's no in between with him at times. He can be absolutely terrible, or he can be good. And again, you can put that down to youth. You can, and I've got no problem with that. The manager, I suppose, has just got to know, because he's got a relationship with them. That got to know when and listen, he dragged them off. Fair play, he dragged them off because he needed to be dragged off. And as soon as Bernard came on, as you said, you seen the difference.
Well, I thought in the first half we tried to play some nice football. We tried to get Seamus in, and we almost got him. He done brilliantly off one ball,
keeping it in.
I don't know who played it. It was over. Michael Keane. It was actually a good ball, but Coleman done superbly well to keep it in, and that was one that got blocked. And it was. We had another, Garner had a shot which was travelling, the lad headed it. Actually thought it did Sigurd.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was blocked by their player, and Theo had a volley that he should have done better with, and then a half volley where it sat up, which was okay, just didn't hit the target. So I thought we were threatening. They had, what did they have? They had the chance in the opening minute, and the Zahor one that he smashed wide, but he was should have been flagged because he was offside. So it wasn't a very good game,
No,
of course, but you could see what was happening.
There was a nervousness to it, wasn't there? We
said ourselves it was a big game just because, results at the weekend had proved it was a big, because everybody won. And then you're watching that last night, Leicester scored in the first 5 minutes, then Newcastle scored a worldie, so you're going, well, everyone's winning, and then, but the real moments of class quality in the first half.
Well, to be honest, I thought the goal itself, we caught them in possession. I think it is Sneijder puts the ball down the line for Seamus, and it's the goal in its simplicity is why exactly what you want. He pulls it back. Sigurdsson does what he does best. You look at most of the goals he scored this season. That's the position he comes in on. That run, meeting those kind of crosses, coming in late from the edge of the box. And again, a big difference is what we've been seeing for the last maybe 2 or 3 months is he's had loads of those chances, but he always wants a touch. Whereas this one, he just went, no, I'll have that first time, and just rolls it into the corner. And you don't have that time, and that's something.
I've said this before. Could he play up front? Because I've
seen him play up front.
He was brilliant at Leon up front.
Yeah, he was but he was different that night.
And he missed 2 sitters.
He was almost played like a battering ram that night. It was a dead weight.
But what I mean is, in terms of calmness in front of goal, he's probably our most calm player.
He's a weird one. Listen, it's dead hard.
He's got 11. He's our top scorer.
No, I know.
The issue with Gylfi for me is too many games pass him by, right? But he scores too many goals for you to leave out because nobody else scores
and
goals.
That's like with Richarlison, isn't it? It's the same, isn't it? You can, as much as you want to say, oh, he's done this and he hasn't done that, but you look at how many goals he's scored and gone, there's a stat going, isn't the first time since the early 2000s, is it, that 2 players have gone into double figures? That's damning on its own.
But yeah, it was a good ball by Sneijder, great play by Coleman, cut it back, and and because we had Dom in there as well.
Oh, we had
took their eyes.
That's what I'm saying. We had a couple. We had a couple in there. We had a couple in there, which isn't, exactly what you want and what we don't always get in there.
But he stroked it in.
But he finished it really well, and that just gives us that. I think
calmed everybody down, didn't it? And it was a kick in the stomach to them, wasn't it? Because 3 minutes before half time, they'd probably go in and think, right,
because that was the big thing, knowing it, the first goal for us. The last few weeks, that's what's annoying. It's you look.
If he'd got it at Watford.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at the last few weeks, Watford, Leicester at home, Southampton, Wolves, you're looking and going, if you go 1-0 up instead of them, that can be the difference. We got it luckily enough. Go into half time with it. Come out second half. But again, I thought beginning second half we just started a little bit slow, and it was a little bit again just forcing it too much instead of just going, well, when they're up, lads, just calm down. And that was what just before around the time Bernard came on, obviously. Richarlison went off, he stunk the place up. Bernard came on, and that's when, for me, we started playing the better football, the best football. And if you look at the goal, the second goal, it's a lovely, not a move as such, but just a lovely period of possession where we just keep the ball for a couple of minutes, and it's almost like slow, quick. And we lost it, and we won it back straight away. And you could see people like Garner and Gylfi just a little bit. Their energy levels were just a little bit higher than they had been in the last few weeks, just having that little bit of rest. Gylfi with pressing was brilliant last night, really, really good. And then, one little bit of tricky by Bernard, having a bit of purpose, and that's the difference with Richarlison. I think he wastes so much energy on where he uses the ball. I think only once last night did he go down the byline, and he beat the lad, and then the lad put it out for a corner, he blocked it. And you're thinking that's all it takes at times, that selfless running. Bernard's brilliant because he keeps the ball so close to him, and he makes a little touch just before he gets in the box that just doesn't let the defender can't do anything, can't touch him. Keeper gets a parry on it, and Gylfi, brilliant finish from around the same place he scored the first, and it's 2-0. And then once that goal went in, my God, the calmness that came over that whole team. And for the rest of the game, it was just pop, pop, pop,
Well,
pop,
I
pop,
mean,
pop, pop.
That's the whole thing, though, isn't it? You've just said it there. It's confidence. You get the second goal, everyone grows again, and that confidence comes in. And there's been too many games. This is when, and I understand people, you know, frustrations. And I understand people being not happy with the manager. Fair play. The results dictate what goes on there. But when you actually analyse Everton's games, they've lost so many games by the odd goal. And it's, if we'd have gotten from what would that have done confidence wise, and I think when we got the second goal, that was it then, that was the confidence, and we knew that theirs would drop a little bit, and the players then start relaxing on the ball and they're knocking it in and they're popping it off. I thought we'd started the second half okay. We were just, I mean, the first half at one stage we had 72% possession, you know, and I think we finished with 67 in the end. So we were totally in control with 430 passes to 120, I think it was. So it shows you how much of the ball we had. But when Bernard come on, because he gives you that instant control when it's knocked to him, and he'll drop it, and he's not afraid to just pop it off and get it back, and he'll knock it in and get it back. And then they're worried about him then, and once he faced that Manga up, because if you watch when he first gets it, it's very similar to Leicester away. He opens his body up as if it's going back, and then he drops the shoulder and goes past him. And then you're right, that extra touch just takes him. He can't touch him, and then he goes like that because he's in the box. Keeper does well, because otherwise Dom's got a tap in a yard out. And Gylfi's there to wrap his foot round. It's a great finish with his other foot. And then after that, it's 2-0, and you can hear the Evertonians are singing, it's loud, and Bernard's up, you see him buzzing and getting the ball out to him there, but they're like that then every time it goes out to him. Garner starts getting on the ball and switching. I thought Garner had a very good game today. I thought he was probably man of the match. He was pressing everywhere, and he grew as the game went on. And then all of a sudden, you know, Michael Keane striding out with it. Seamus is stretching him, they're kicking him. You know, we took a couple of hefty whacks, Seamus, from just wanting to get in behind him. Luca Dean, they all grew. And then you looked at them, even like the commentary team are like, what a good side Everton are. And you're like, where are these though? Where have these been?
Well, to be fair, I think it comes down to a lot of things we've been talking about the last few weeks. Leadership and confidence. Both
and tiredness.
Both equally, you know, important. Because that's only, I had a look at it, that's only the third time this season we've been 2-0 up at least by the 66th minute. Fulham, we scored our second goal in the 66th minute. We went on to win 3-0. Burnley, obviously, we were 3-0 up in 20 minutes, weren't we? So, so this was only the third time, and you could see that, because even at 1-0 he was still a little bit like not tentative, but just it still wasn't flowing. But as soon as that second goal went in last night, it was just all the things that Silva probably sees on the training pitch every day when there's no pressure and all that. It just started coming out, just moving the ball freely and not thinking everything we do now has to you know, end up. I compared the two, and people may think I'm taking the piss here, but when we played Man City at home, how they just moved that ball all night, and there was no panic, because to them, even at 0-0, they were sound. They were always going to score as far as they were concerned. Whereas last night, being 2-0 up, it was almost like, well, we know we're not going to lose this now. I know. There you go. But that's what I'm saying. We were 2-0 up, and it was like, we'll just keep popping the ball around. It doesn't matter. We've got the ball, so you don't need to force it. You don't need to do anything stupid. You know, it just keep moving it round.
That's confidence, though, isn't it? And a belief in what you're doing. He's had a couple of weeks. They had a few days off, and then he'd been training. And the message will have been the same.
So, but how do we get that message over to players when it's 0-0? How do we do? Is that just a centre forward? Do you think?
I don't know, because it's a confidence thing, isn't it? If you believe that, when we had Koeman and Ron was playing, and we went on that run of home games, we knew we were going to score. Every game you'd go in, you started getting into that mode of, we'll win today, 3 or 4-0. And there was games, when with West Brom, it was like they could have gone above us or could have gone right that day, and it was like, everyone was dead calm. We scored the goals, and remember Hull at home, it was what Marco Silva's Hull. We were 1-0 up, but you just knew it, and it ends 4-0, and it was them games where it was like, we'll score in a minute, and everyone was relaxed. And we had this, I think, in the first bit of the season. We were popping it around, you were like, we'll get it, because Richarlison was playing well, and Gilf, and you were thinking, we'll get these goals. Palace at home, 86th minute we scored after, and then the 90th, and no one was edgy, everyone was like, keep doing it, and somewhere, after the derby, we lost that patience, we lost that, it become panic mode. I think the 2 home games after it, where we didn't win, became...
City and Tottenham.
And then it just became a thing, and there might have been a run of too many games where it was knock after knock after knock, and maybe the reset button's been pressed a little bit because they've had a couple of weeks to just look at everything. Maybe they've had more time to go through data or look at incidences or whatever, but to keep that calmness, you've got to believe in what you're doing. And it might be difficult because we now, we could have done with, say, Huddersfield at home at the weekend just to build on it, right? But we've got a derby, and it's a big game. All the pressure's on Liverpool. Everyone expects Liverpool to beat us. All the pressure's on them. They know they have to win every single football match they play now till the end of the season, and that's a tiring pressure. So what we have to do is go out and make sure we're solid, and when we get on the ball, do what we did last night and try to do it with a purpose. But it's how we can do that all the time. Can we play that way when we go to Newcastle? Because they're on a good little run and he'll have the crowd behind. Can we repeat that at Fulham and Palace away, which are games which are very winnable for us? Can we do the same thing?
I think on the flip side as well, though, it's a lot of those games will come down to, or a lot of the games before, have come down to that nervousness as well, from the point of view of conceding from set pieces and things like that. And not having, because those games, you can have a game which you go, well, we're doing all right here. It's having that niggling doubt. And it felt like to me last night anyway, it might have just been me, that around the box we were being a little bit more careful not to give away stupid free kicks. Just standing off a little bit, and then doubling up at the right time. And doubling up helps when you've got more energy as well, obviously, because players can get round. And just not giving away those stupid free kicks. Most of the danger coming in the box last night was from long throws, which we dealt with pretty well. So if you can eradicate that fear, and it's a 0-0, and you're thinking, well, we're not going to concede from a stupid set piece, so how are they going to break us down? Because they weren't going to score last night, really. They shouldn't have scored anyway, from anything other than a mistake by us. I didn't feel like they had anything in them. They've ended up with no shots. Okay, we've had a couple of nervous moments, but if you can eradicate those...
That 4 shots, not on target.
If you can eradicate those, those self-sabotage moments from basic stuff.
It's set pieces, isn't it? Set pieces, we can go back to Wolves the other week at home. The first 2 goals are set pieces. One's a penalty because of, Baines woefully dragged them down because, he probably wasn't fit. And then the second one, we get back in the game with a worldie from Gomez, and we give a stupid free kick away from Michael Keane, dragging the lad down, and then we stand still while he heads it in. So we've just got ourselves into that game. Man City, we're going into half-time, done all right, set piece, behind. Millwall, 3 set pieces, 3 goals. That's what it's come from. So everyone's using that. Watford away, set piece. All right, we cleared the first, but it's off a set piece, it's a corner that we cleared and they score. So you're looking at it thinking, every set piece we get against us, it's a problem. Last night, Warnock will have done loads of work. They could see what they were doing, long throws, corners. What we did better last night was we seemed to make sure no one had a free header. And what we seemed to do was when it dropped, smashed it away. And I don't mind that.
No, I don't
mind. When it drops in your box, the least dangerous place is their corner flag. Smash it away and get your shape. Because what you do then is you eradicate the rate at which you can see goals from set plays, and then confidence builds then. So when you do give them away, you're confident you can deal with it, because us as fans, whenever a team gets a free kick or a corner, you go, dodgy this. Whereas when you're in the groove and you're playing well and they get a corner, it's like, come on, let's get this out. There's no nervousness, whereas it perpetuates. And this is one of the things the other week, and some people didn't like Marco Silva's reaction to it, and I can't remember whether you liked it or you didn't, but I liked it when he went, stop talking about the set plays, because you're making it a thing Do you know what I mean? And maybe he shouldn't have said that to the media. Maybe say that to the players. But what he was saying was right. Everyone builds this thing of Everton can't defend set plays. It gets into our minds as fans, so we're nervous. It's going to seep into the players as well.
I like the question. I think that needs to be asked.
No, but I think his answer I'm talking about.
Well, that's fine, but
I think
the question needs to be asked the same way the question needs to be asked at the press conference the other day. It's how you handle
it.
He
dealt with that.
But he dealt with it well, but it needs to be asked. You can't say to someone, don't ask that question.
I was talking about his answer.
No, I know, but that's fine. I'm saying that question needs to be asked.
So what you have to do then is eradicate that. So you eradicate... I've said it many times now about Liverpool, the Klopp. First season, 21 goals conceded from set plays because of zonal and everything else, or whatever it was, whether it was zonal or the players didn't understand it. They just got better and better and better. Now they're the number one team, I think, from defending set plays, because he's had to build it over, and it took Van Dijk and it took probably Alisson to make them better at it. So he eradicated that, because I remember the first season, and even Brendan Rodgers' time with them, it was like free kick, there's a deal conceded because they can't defend. It gets into people's minds, and it's in our minds now. So the more games we have, like last night, where we've got through it with a clean sheet without conceding a set play, it quietens that down. Also, the players can feel more confident. So that's what we have to do. We have to cut mistakes out and cut conceding stupid free kicks and corners out. And if we do that, it's half the battle then, because we're in most games in terms of the football, but we're getting undone by when the team gets a corner or a free kick.
Exactly.
And we're like, God, it's not like they've steamrolled us and we're not competing, we're competing. And the other thing is, we have to get better at the other end with set plays.
No, it's terrible.
Because we could, imagine if we could make that a weapon for us then, where it's not, we're no good in either box. So I don't know how you correct that, other than work and other than trying to play. You've got to have the desire to get your head on this delivery that's coming into the box. Standing and hoping it falls to you isn't going to cut it. You've got to go three players. Derek Manfield was here the other week saying, I knew I'd probably get a kick in the face, but I wanted to score a goal, so I put myself in areas where it hurt, and hence why he got 15 goals. And Jolie and Lescott done it for us many a time, got himself, had the desire to get there, and I don't think at times our players show enough desire to get on the end of stuff.
Quality of delivery as well.
But it can't always be, can it? Because a lot of time a ball comes in. So
well, what I mean is a consistent. Maybe I don't know. I mean, a lot of the time, it can something can look like a great ball, and of course it is a great ball. But if you're the player who it's supposed to be for, and you're at the front and it goes to the back,
of course,
you know what I mean?
That's
you know, the old.
But someone's got to be coming round the back to want to get on the end of it as well, haven't they? Because they can't all be bad deliveries, can they? We've got Sigurdsson.
No. Oh, listen, we've seen how many times the ball's gone like that off Keane's head and off that off Zuma's head. So it isn't, of course, the deliveries are there. It's just that they've got weird shaped heads. So there's nothing you can do about that. You know,
what was good to see was the confidence coming.
Well, that's it. The confidence. I mean, let's hope that's what gives us something to build on. And I thought that was just so clear that when we went 2-0 up, it was just like the weight had come off their shoulders, and they've got to keep that up. It's one game, you know, against Cardiff.
What did you make of Walcott?
I thought it was crap. What can you say? I mean, I'm not having a go. Well, I am having a go at him, but his job, right, is to attack, cross, shoot. And apart from that one volley that he probably should have got on target,
should have hit the target.
I didn't see him really do anything else.
He had 4 shots and didn't hit the target with any from around a penalty area. And seeing the stats, I'm sure it was like he's the only player to have done it this season or something, or whatever, to have that many without hitting the target in a game.
My problem with Walcott is I don't walk off the. I don't. It's different. It's actually what's really unfair is the conversation we've already had about Richarlison. Is you're picking out Richarlison because he is getting on the ball and he is doing things, but then I look at Walcott and I just go, I'm trying to think of things he did in the match, and that's harder. So you can't think of things to slag him off for because he didn't do anything. Whereas you get Richarlison, you go, he did that, and he got caught on the ball and stupid things like that. But at least that you're like, well, he is part of the game and he is trying to do something. It's just that at the moment, it's just not, it's just not switched on, or he's doing stupid things. And we've said loads of times, how he tries to do the wrong thing in the wrong area.
Decision making.
You know, bad decision making. But I'm seriously trying to rack my head around. When did Walcott get the ball and face up the fullback? I can't remember doing it once. And that's the problem. It's that idea. We've heard this loads of times where players make themselves look busy but actually aren't doing anything. And I think that's where you can actually say about Walcott in the entire season, is that he makes himself look very busy but he doesn't do anything. And I think,
is it a time for a position change for him?
We said this last week. He's 20. Was he 29, 30?
29, yeah.
He's another player that this team just doesn't seem to suit, probably because of Seamus or whoever's playing. They like to push forward. It doesn't give much space for him to do what he wants. So maybe that needs to go like that a little bit. It's why I'd like to see three at the back. Is so those wing backs, the full backs, as suddenly become wing backs, and that's your width, and we can do like that. We can go like that up front, and then we can get two up front, and maybe that would suit Walcott a little bit more. He's not in the game enough. No. He's just not in it, so it's hard to criticise.
And he's not another one who's finessed on the ball, is he? It bounces away. He's someone he's all ballistics, isn't he? He's all get it out the feet, knock it and run. He's not going to face someone up, use a bit. He's not Bernard, is he? So, or Adam Ola-Luckman, who will go both ways with the ball. So, I think when he's wide and he's not in the game, you have to ask yourself the question, what is he there for?
Yeah.
He's not trying to get in round the back. And we saw the one when Garner pops it off and he volleys it. That's what he should be doing all the time. Give and go, knock it in and go, and he should be trying to find him. Doesn't happen because he doesn't get on the ball enough.
Yeah. I think a big problem with us, one of our big problems is, we're supposed to be playing 4-3-3, but our two wide forwards, and I use the word forward loosely, Richarlison was in our half mostly, and that's what made it more frustrating. So he's probably frustrating, going, why am I so deep? Why aren't I further forward? Why aren't the fullback starting positions higher up the pitch? Therefore, his starting position. And again, that might come down to confidence, how far the fullbacks think they're willing to go. Whereas where everything's flowing and you've got a midfielder who's dropping in, the team's working in sync, your fullbacks are higher, so naturally those players are higher. But Richarlison's probably fuming all the time because he's probably thinking, why am I picking the ball up in my own half and trying to take people on? And Walcott's probably in the same boat a little bit. He's probably so deep that he's like, well, where have I got to go? If I go up, I'm not getting the ball. I said this the other week. I can't remember what game it was, the other week it was. It might have been the Leicester game. The amount of times he got on the last defender and one of our midfielders got the ball, and I've seen him loads of times going like that, and not once did anyone just put the ball over the top. So if you're a footballer and you want to be you want to be part of the game, what are you naturally going to do? You're going to go looking for the ball, aren't you? We've seen Wayne Rooney was the worst at it because he always wants to be on the ball. So every time he played up front, he just kept on dropping, and they just got their defence, and it compacts your game. And that's what one of the adjustments we need to make is we need to start pushing the full backs is high up. So you after the game you look like a heat map or something of those starting maps, and you go, look where our fullbacks are. They're just there.
That's easy with three centre backs, isn't it? Because you can get up the pitch higher. You start.
Of course, but a lot of teams, you'd probably look at a lot of teams fullbacks, ones who've probably got a lot more energy than maybe Seamus has got, and that's because you are up and down, and that's when 4-3-3. That's why it's become such a preferred thing for people. It's because in the old days you obviously had 4-4-2, and your fullbacks never went anywhere, and your right midfield and left midfield just did that all day, but they knew you could just whip it in. If your fullbacks are starting higher, then you have got three up front. But we don't really seem to have that, and that's a big problem we've seemed to have for a long time, is their starting positions are... Look at how many times do we see Adam Ola-Luckman in his first season picking the ball up just inside our half, or just inside their half, and then it's like, well, what am I going to do with it now? I've got to be four players. He's not the fastest player with the ball. So that's something that needs to change, and you're right, with three, that could change, and then could have another centre forward on the pitch. I just don't think that The way, I think, beginning the season, it was fine because we were all confident. Confidence breeds pushing up,
play higher up
the pitch. But soon as you start losing a few games, you start thinking negatively, so you're dropping in. Look at Dean. How many times have you seen Luca Dean get forward recently, like properly living on the edge of their box? First half this
steamed that down last night a few times.
Nobody was living there.
No, but I suppose that is also dictated by Keane and Jagielka being centre back.
Of course, everything plays its part. Of course, it does. What you want is you want your back four or your centre backs. You want them having pace and everyone to be confident, and your full backs. We're so out of tune that.
But again, that's confidence, isn't it? And that only comes through winning. You know, that was our 10th win of the season last night, wasn't it? And you're looking and going, it's not surprising they're struggling because they haven't won enough games of football. And you know, win enough games of football, you question everything. You question what you're being told by the manager. You question your teammate. You think, am I doing the right thing? Why are we playing this way? Why aren't we doing? What's he doing? Whereas when you're in sync, you don't question anything. Just do your job.
And this is why it's so important to have the team and not just 11 players. Because you can get the best 11 players, but if they don't connect properly and that player doesn't do that thing to allow that play. That's why in the first season under Martinez, when Barry and McCarthy sat in that midfield and every time the fullback went forward, one of them just went left or one of them went right, it worked so well. There was a real symmetry to the way we played. And then when McCarthy got injured, that was all lost because it was like, well, who go? You know, no one did that job. And you can have players who are equally as good, but their mindset might not necessarily be when he goes forward, I drop back. They might just go follow the ball.
Well, that's all part of the process, though, isn't it? And this again comes back to your manager who's looking at it and going, well, this is how I want us to play. But the reality is, I ain't got these players, and it's going to take me time.
There's lots of things that we look at.
But listen to, we've won 3-0 away from home, which is a big thing. And I think the third goal was just absolute Garner, just absolutely magnificent.
Confidence personified.
Great ball away from Coleman, knocked it up, getting it out of there. Garner takes it on the chest, struck the fella off, and then as the lad comes in, pops it through his legs, runs round him with ease, strides away from him, and then a lovely little weighted, for a fella that can't pass, he did well, lovely little weighted ball with the outside of the foot, and Dom doing what I think he should be doing more, which is stretching their back four, runs away, and when he took the touch, Dom, they were never getting anywhere near him, and it's a great finish.
It's a goal purely fashioned out of confidence. Because if it's 0-0, Garner ain't popping it through his legs, is he? No. You know what I mean? Dom probably is thinking, well, I'm not. No, he's not even making the run pass because he's thinking, if that's 0-0, Dom's thinking, no, what he's thinking is, I can't get offside here. Because if I get offside and it's blown and they get the ball back, this game's finishing 0-0. So again, everything is dictated by where you are. When teams are confident, they don't think about things, they do everything instinctively. And that goal was pure instinct. Garner ain't making that pass either because he's going to dither on it, and by the time he plays the pass, Dom's going to be offside. Everything just flowed in that moment, and that's what the best teams do. They don't even think about those moments, because even if you're a Man City and you do that and he's offside, you're always thinking, we're going to get one more chance. Even though this is the 90th minute, we're always going to... I remember when Man United were at the very, very best, and you go into the 90th minute and they'd still need a goal. And they didn't just go, let's launch it. They just go, no, keep playing football. Because this is how we know we will get through. We believe in our ability. And that goal was just pure confidence.
It's a brilliant goal. Brilliant finish by Dom. Deserved it for his night's work. And that's confidence for him. It's another goal. So it's like, I've scored. And, all right, it was 2-0 and that was the icing on the cake. But that's what Ron did. He was very good at it. Put the icing on the cake. Put the cherry on the top. And get yourself another goal.
Scored another
played
goal,
up front, scored another goal.
Scored a different type of goal, didn't he? Scoring from outside the box.
And if he does that, if he makes those runs, he's quick. He can put defenders in trouble.
But that's where you need... we don't always have a player who gets to where Garner is.
No. This is the criticism that Gylfi can
but
have, because he's almost... It's weird, his position, but there's not many times that he's striding away from players.
But don't you think a lot of that comes from, as well, the fact that we've had three centre forwards this season who all are slightly different. So how does Gylfi build that relationship with a centre forward that, you know, see, this is where we spoke about it on the preview, didn't we, about Walcott? If you had Walcott up front with that pace, Gylfi would always know, and then it's down to Walcott to keep himself on side. But then Gylfi would always know that pass would be on, always. But if he does something instinctive like that, say, or even, you know, and then suddenly he goes, oh, it's Cenk Tosun, he ain't getting that. He ain't getting that on a scooter.
He gave him one, didn't he, at Watford, which was a brilliant ball in behind, and Tosun couldn't get there, and it was like, great ball, that. If he'd have been Dom or it'd have been Walcott, or maybe even the Richarlison, he'd have got there because it was that good a pass. But, you know, we've seen it with the Richarlison's pass to Tosun in the City game at 1-0. You know, it would have been the other way round. He'd have got there before Ederson, because Tosun almost got there. Walcott would have definitely beaten Ederson to it and think that over, or, you know, we might have. I don't know whether he'd got there. And that. You're right with that. So that's, I suppose, what the manager has to make that call now. Does he just say, listen, bombs are striking out till the summer?
Well, that's the thing now, isn't it? I mean,
or is it the Richarlison?
You'd like to think after last night's win that we've got enough. I know, I hate saying these. I think now we've got enough points to go. Fine, we've reached the threshold.
I think we should be looking up.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. We've reached that mark now. So, you know, you think about that and you think, right, it's all about how many points we get now, how many points we can finish with. Now, beating last year's total now, isn't it? So what did we finish on last year? 49, was
49.
It? So 13 more points.
4 wins and a draw from 10 games.
5 wins. Five wins, right? I'm not saying we will get it. I'm saying that's the target, isn't it? And you go out there and play with the freedom to get those 5 wins. Because you're only going to win those 5 games with that freedom. That's what we know about this team. I said
when we done the preview, and I think I said this to you even off the thing, that I've got the belief we could have won 6 of the last 11 games. Really, I've really got that belief, and we've won 1 of them already. Can we win 5 of the next 10? Well, on paper, we can beat Arsenal at home. Chelsea aren't brilliant. We could beat them. We've got a derby which might throw up.
Well, we could win. We could win.
Fulham away, Palace away.
We could win 3 home games and win 2 away games.
Or 2 home games and 3 away
games.
Games.
You know, Burnley, Arsenal, Chelsea, let's just say. I mean, I'd much rather it was like one was Sunday, definitely.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
You're just looking at it going.
And then you've got Newcastle, Palace,
Fulham, West Ham
away. So there's no reason why. Listen, it's, as I'm saying, it's confidence. It's all about confidence. If we was to win Sunday, then suddenly you're like, fucking hell,
we can beat anyone. But you would, though, wouldn't you? You would think that, because why not?
I'm just open that Cardiff is like the bookends. So the first time we played them was the beginning. After that was the beginning of the bad spell, starting with Liverpool, and Cardiff winning last night. We beating Cardiff last night was the end of that. And now we go and play Liverpool again.
We beat them. Alisson throws one in.
And then Newcastle we played after Liverpool, and we beat them. And then, you know, listen, not asking for miracles, but
well, I mean, look at Huddersfield. Huddersfield's last win was Wolves away.
It was, and they won out Wolves.
They haven't won since, and then they just beat Wolves at home.
Imagine if you were Wolves and you'd just done the double.
Huddersfield done the double over you. It's mad though, isn't it? And that shows you that we've said, and I've said, even when you were having your Wolves of Barcelona thing, joke by the way, that they're a decent side, but they're having the season of their lives. We're having a horrendous season. There's 4 points in it.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there's everyone above us and everyone next to us and a little bit below. We're all the same. We can all win one, we can lose the next. That's the way it is, and that's why the top 6 are where they are, because most weeks they can win.
Yeah.
Whereas we're all like that, interchanging, aren't we? We could still finish 6th, 15th, but we could also finish 7th, because
I think I said the other week that we'd become a 1-win-and-4 team. So let's get it at least to 1-win-and-3 team, and then maybe get it like
for 1 and 2, 1 and 2.5 type thing. But that's what you'd have to do. You build on it. You're as good as your last game. So we just won 3-0. So we're good and we're confident. So we go into a game that's almost like it's not a free game because it's a derby, but All the pressure's on Liverpool. They have to win. They're going for the title. For us, our fans will make it a bear pit. Of course they will, because they haven't had much to shout about this season, and this lot, it means a lot to the opposition. So our fans will be magnificent on Sunday, and what Everton have to do is start from the basis of almost like, and I hate myself for saying this, but almost like a Sam Allardyce mentality of don't get beat first and foremost.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say eat Frey Brentos before the match.
Eat Frey Brentos and don't have any shots. No, don't get beat. No stupid mistakes. If Liverpool are to score on Sunday, they have to earn it with a great goal or whatever. Nothing silly or cheap from us. And if we do that, as the game goes on, and the crowd, they'll get edgier and edgier, and then you take it into the next game. Then you go to Newcastle and you look at that, and you look at the games we've got left. We could finish the season all right, but something was said last night, and it's right. This now, with this win, now our thinking should be switching to next season. It should be the preparation for next season. Can we finish decently and start preparing for next season, and identifying what players we need so that we hit the ground running next season, and we don't have another one like this where it's been good, terrible, indifferent all over the place. We have one where we can see where we're going with it, and everyone can get on board, because at the minute there's still too many variables, isn't it? But just taking it last night, it was a good win, and it was a workmanlike performance, and to win 3-0 away in the
job done for all, and fans there as well.
Superb.
2 days off, all that. The ones who made it, of course.
John Blaine's had a great.
He's had a great few days. Germany, and then the ground to Cardiff. Happy days. Anyway, there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is it just what are you thinking? Because I know loads of you are going, it's only Cardiff, it's a one-off. So let us know. What do we need to do that every week? Were you impressed with us once we got the second goal and calmed it down? Is that the real Everton? Is it just confidence? Let us know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do click the bell for alerts. Give us a like on this video if you're watching it on YouTube. And if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. We'll see you later.